is a fragrance that I actually had not heard of until extremely recently. The reason that I found out about this perfume is because there was a few perfumes that I had that had recently that had Oakmoss in them. One of them I reviewed recently. It was Cartier La Pender. The other one was, oh my gosh, Grey Dior by Christian Dior. And then I also have one Chloe Nomad that I have not reviewed yet, but Chloe Nomad also has Oakmoss. Basically, I've realized that I like Oakmoss, and so I went on Fragrantica and I looked at fragrances that have other fragrances with Oakmoss, and I saw this one. And I looked at it on Fragrantica and I read the reviews and it seemed really interesting. So I found this on Mercari and I got a pretty good deal on it. So that's great. I'm actually not going to be keeping this one. I do like it. I really do, but not quite enough to keep it. And so I'm going to resell it. Oddly enough, I did find that this reminded me a little bit of oh my god, my brain is like not working. I have worked a lot today. This reminds me of Chanel Coco Mademoiselle a little bit, and I also saw people talking about that in the reviews. I mean, it's just very faint, but I don't know. Basically, I liked this, but I didn't find it quite unique enough to feel the need to keep it, so I'm going to go ahead and resell it soon. Anyway, so before I spray this, I did, as usual, try to dress on theme. So, this is what I wore today. I've got this white cotton dress. I did not have anything silk. This is called Silk Blossom. So if I had something silk, that would have been nice, but I chose something white just to match the lid here. The perfume itself doesn't really read as white in terms of its scent. To me, it almost smells citrusy, even though there's no citrus notes in it. But it's like, I don't know, almost kind of like fruity, citrusy, even though there's also no fruit in it. Plus it's a little bit like earthy, mossy because of the Oakmoss. So anyway, because of that, I felt like this dress was good because it's got like these sort of naturalistic, I can't think of words today. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what is this? Embroidery? This is really bad. But yeah, and then I've got these earrings here, which I wore these in a past video. I thought these kind of matched a little bit. So that is what I'm wearing today. Okay, so let's go ahead and spray. And in my last video I talked about how I have new papers to spray on. So this is from the previous books collection, which is just like, I don't know, things that like books and like newspaper pages and stuff. See? So yeah, pretty fun, perfect size to spray on. Alright, let's go ahead and give this, let's go ahead and give this a spray. Oh wow. That just kind of streamed out of there. Alright, I'm gonna let this dry down because I'm getting some alcohol right up front. warm spicy, woody. So I definitely get the Mossy Earthy Accords. It doesn't really smell floral to me, not in the way that I'm used to. I get a little bit of the fresh spicy and warm spicy, I guess. But yeah, it's a little bit more of a unique perfume. Definitely interesting. Let's go ahead and look at the notes for this fragrance. So, like I think most Jo Malone fragrances, it's very simple. It has 3 notes. I honestly think that most Jo Malone fragrances are like that, but I'm just gonna click on a few random ones to see if that's the case. Okay, I do see that the English Pear and Freesia has more notes. The Peony and Plush Suede has more notes, but it's not a whole lot. Blackberry and Bay, I think they usually tend to be they don't tend to have like 15 notes or something. So anyway, this one's really simple. It has 3 notes. Okay, so it has one top note, and the top note is white pepper. White pepper. So, do I smell the white pepper? Just barely. Just barely. I'm assuming that white pepper might be a little bit more toned down than black pepper, but I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna check that out. Okay, so I just did some research, and apparently white pepper has twice as much of an aromatic compound called rotundone. Probably not saying that right, but rotundone. And it means it gives it more of that peppery aroma than black pepper. So with that in mind, I'm really not smelling a whole lot of white pepper, especially if white pepper is supposed to be stronger than black pepper. So yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not really getting a whole lot of that, maybe just a little bit. Okay, and then next we have Silk Tree Blossom. And I need to look this up again right now. I did at the time, but I completely forgot what Silk Tree Blossom smells like. It's a really pretty blossom. It's pink, or at least the one I'm seeing is pink and kind of feathery. And it grows on a tree. It's a blossom on a tree, the silk tree, I would imagine. Anyway, the odor profile says a beautiful fruity floral note reminiscent of the smell of albizia flowers, which I don't know what albizia is, but it says it's a fruity floral note, which makes sense to me. This does smell fruity, so yes, when I am smelling whatever I'm smelling that seems fruity, must be the silk blossom. So in that case, I definitely do smell the silk blossom. Okay, and then the final note, the base note, is the moss. I'm assuming that moss refers to oak moss, but I don't know, it might just be a little more general than that. Yeah, I think it refers to oak moss. Anyway, oak moss is, mossy, earthy. It's definitely got some depth to it, and I definitely smell it, and I really like it. So again, what I smell most is the oak moss and the silk tree blossom. I would say like pretty equally. And the white pepper, I think I barely get that. Just a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what other people smell. I'm going to show the votes on Fragrantica.com. Okay, so other people are saying that they mainly smell the silk blossom tree note. Secondly, realize when I'm filling these out, I should be voting. Oh my gosh, like, I should totally be voting for this when I am doing it, just to like add more data to Fragrantica. Okay, so those are the notes. Really simple: white pepper, silk tree blossom, and moss. Yeah, so I really like this fragrance. Again, you have to like Oakmoss, but you know, this is kind of reminiscent to me also of Chloe Nomad, because that one is like a fruity oak moss scent, and so I would say it's kind of reminiscent of that. It's almost a little reminiscent of Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. What would I say about this? Like, what else would I say about this? It's fairly light. To me, this is a bit of a minimalist scent, but not in like a super fresh, clean sort of way. I mean, it's not that it doesn't smell clean. It's just that it's like, it's earthy and mossy. It's not like super bright and fresh, but it's a little bit like citrusy, fruity to me. That's how the silk blossom comes off. I think it's pretty linear because it doesn't have a whole lot going on, but it's simple. I think you could definitely overspray it and you'd be fine. In fact, if you want to smell it more, I think you'd have to spray it several times. That being said, if you work in spaces or you just don't like to smell that strong, you work in spaces where you can't smell that strong, I think this could be a really good fit for that. To me, I think of fall, summer, spring, not so much winter. I would say fall and summer mostly. I would think of for this. I don't know why, that's just me. But the moss makes me think of fall. And then it's fruity, so I think of summer. Also, before I read some reviews and share some other information, some other stats on it, I wanted to show you all that I have some Jo Malone samples here. I have had many more samples than this, but I've resold a lot of them. These are just ones that are on my Mercari that have not been purchased yet. So for example, here is Peony and Blush Suede. Peony and Blush Suede, and this one is actually a very popular Jo Malone one that I wore a few weeks ago, and I had to wash it off, and I don't know why. There was just something in it that to me smelled synthetic, and so I had to wash it off. I didn't like it. Then this one is Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. This is a love for me. This is going to, I think, forever be one of my favorite fragrances. It's just so simple, but so refreshing and, you know, marine, aromatic, a little woody, a little salty, a little citrus. I just love it. I love this one. Maybe it's not for everybody, but to me this is like super inoffensive, just beautiful, effortless. Okay, this one is English Pear and Freesia. This one is nice, but it's not something that I personally would want a full bottle of. I'm like, well, is that true? Let me spray it. I don't even know, like... This is really nice. I definitely get the pear in the Freesia. It's very happy. It's a very happy fragrance. You know, if you don't like florals, though, this is not for you. But yeah, this is very happy, very nice, very feminine. Okay, so there's that. And then this is the grapefruit cologne, which I think this one just pretty much smells straight up like grapefruit from what I remember. And then lastly, this is the poppy and barley. This one's nice. It definitely has like some real barley point in here where like just smells a little bit like grainy, a little bit like almost grainy bready from the barley, which definitely grounds it and brings it down, down to earth a bit. So poppy barley. All of these are in different types of bottles than this. All of these Jo Malone ones are in the rectangular bottles, and this one is in a different bottle, and I'm honestly not sure why. The other interesting thing is all of Jo Malone's fragrances are called colognes. They're called colognes. They say colognes. And usually I at least associate cologne with a men's fragrance, but I know that technically that's not what it's about. It's kind of become that way in the mainstream fragrance world, but technically what cologne actually means is just referring to the concentration of actual fragrance, the concentration of it. And according to a chart that I'm looking up, so please do not quote me, but this is just what the chart says, the highest concentration is referred to as a parfum, or I've also seen that extrait de parfum, that one's also higher. Then we have eau de parfum, EDP, eau de parfum, which is most of the ones that I review. Then there's eau de toilette, which I definitely have reviewed some of those too. EDT, eau de toilette, and then there's eau de cologne, EDC. So this is an eau de cologne, and I think that's what it means in this context. And honestly, a lot of people don't like Jo Malone fragrances because one of the biggest gripes about Jo Malone fragrances is that they do not last very long. The fragrance is weak. It doesn't last long, or doesn't project super well. And I'm guessing this might be part of the reason why, is because they're all called cologne strength, and that means that they, in this context, it means that they shouldn't last quite as long if they're not as concentrated. Of course, when you go to the department store and just buy what's called a male cologne, those ones often do last way, super long. So there might be some confusion and, different definitions around what that means or how it's used for most people, for the lay people. But anyway, that's what I think might be going on, why a lot of these Jo Malones don't last super long. Alright, so let's go ahead and read a few stats on Jo Malone Silk Blossom Cologne. Okay, so this perfume was launched in 2022. However, I know that they had a previous Silk Blossom cologne. I don't know if it's discontinued or not, but it might have been a slightly different formulation as well. I'm clicking on it right now. Yeah, Jo Malone Silk Blossom Cologne. This one that I'm clicking on, the older one, was launched in 2014 and has more notes to it than this one does. There might even be another version too, but anyway, this one was launched in 2022, so this was very recent, so I didn't know that, but that's cool. Alright, and then this fragrance has an overall rating of 3.74 out of 5 with 54 votes on Fragrantica.com. So that's not a lot of votes, but people like it okay, but they don't seem to be crazy about it. side. So on a 1 to 10 scale, if 1 is weak, they're saying it's like a 3.5. I did not wear this myself. I've only smelled it on paper. I would have loved to have worn it, but I've just got so many fragrances that I'm sampling that I haven't really had time. And yeah, so anyway, this apparently doesn't have the best longevity in terms of the sillage. People also are saying that it's maybe like a 3.5 again, like it doesn't project a whole lot, doesn't leave much of a scent trail. That makes sense to me. Just smelling it on paper, it's not super strong. For gender, the users on Fragrantica are rating this as more feminine leaning, but not extremely feminine. I would agree with that. I would rate this like a 3 out of 10. Okay, and then lastly, for price value, the users on Fragrantica are saying that this is on the overpriced side. Like, it's decent, but maybe a little overpriced is what people are saying. So I'm seeing that on Sephora, a 50 milliliter bottle of this is $105, which that is a bit expensive. It's a nice scent. It really is, but that's definitely, that's a bit to pay for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and read a few random reviews, and then we will go ahead and wrap up after that. So, okay, here is somebody who feels meh about this perfume, and they say, I also get a Coco Mademoiselle smell, but lighter vibe, mossy and clean smell. I gravitate towards light, clean scents, but this one wasn't a winner for me personally. Maybe it's one that requires more wear to grow on you. Okay, here is somebody who really likes this perfume, and they say, do you like the clean girl aesthetic? This is made for you. Floral, spicy, and fresh AF. I smell so clean and put together with this scent, dewy skin, white silk blouse, gold jewelry, and silky hair in a high ponytail. Confident, sweetly charismatic. Okay. Alright, let's see. Somebody who feels meh about this again says, not great. It has a strong opening. It dries down to a dirty skin type of scent. I can't imagine layering it with anything, but it seems to not be complex enough to be worn on its own. I'm definitely giving Silk Blossom the benefit of the doubt and would have to smell it again, but for my first impression, it was not amazing. I do appreciate that it is not really sweet though. Okay, let's go ahead and read. Well, geez, there's not that many reviews. Okay, here's another one. This person says, I seem to be the only one who absolutely loves this one. To me, it smells clean and almost like a creamy luxury hotel soap, but still fresh and uplifting. I think it's a beautiful scent that can be worn on its own or layered with other fresh, floral, or even citrusy fragrances. It's not cloying and would be excellent to wear in the warmer months. So that's just some ideas of what other people are thinking. So again, to recap my thoughts on this, I think that this is a mixture of fruity, almost citrusy. I guess it's floral, but to me, it really smells more fruity. And then also the mossiness kind of grounds it and brings it a little bit more down to earth and just adds a really nice depth to it, I think. There's the pepper, which I don't really get a whole lot of, like I said. Maybe that's just me, but nothing fresh but in a mossy way. So like in a very organic, clean way. Not like a synthetic, sharp, clean way. Yeah, so that is my review of Jo Malone Silk Blossom. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here, and thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I never remember to say this, but I do really appreciate those of you who have been watching my videos and liking my videos and commenting. I do appreciate it, and yeah, I'm just slowly growing. I think right now I'm at like 250 subscribers, and it's just fun to watch that slowly grow. And I don't know where this will go in the future, but it's just exciting, and I think the more it grows, probably the more likely I am to keep putting out content. So it is encouraging to see that it's growing, and to get some really nice comments from all of you. So thank you so much. Wishing you all a lovely evening or day or whatever, and just sending you all some strength and love to